What's going on, everybody? Had this thing for a good while now. A couple videos of it. Haven't really done a walk around, so I figured why not now. Just finished the trail, about to turn around and go back out it, and I guess this is as good a spot as any. 2024 Mule Pro FXT 1000 Ranch. The factory winch has given me no issues. I did put a little wireless controller mount on it thing, where I don't have to stand in the cab and hit the button. I can just carry it around with me. Probably one of the best things I've bought for it, because I don't need anybody to pull winch or do anything. I can just walk clear to the end of the winch line, still have control of it. I took the steel cable off of it because I hate it. Put 1/4 inch rope on it, broke it constantly. So now it's got 5/16 rope that won't actually fit, but I just kind of wound it by hand. I figure if I get a couple good pulls on it, it'll tighten it down. I can get the rest of it on there. I've got Super ATV high clearance offset A-arms front and rear on it. Hester Elkas. Love these shocks. Top 3 mods for a mule, in my opinion, if you're going to trail ride it. Well, a winch, tires, and those shocks. If you already got a winch, tires, shocks, skid plate. It's just, those shocks are amazing. Takeoffs from a KRX 31s, they are too big. They just are. They might work with like stock shocks in the offset A-arms, but the Hesters, they flex so much. Like if you stuff them in a bump, they'll rub here. They rub down there at full lock. I don't know if you can see on the inside when you turn. You'll hear it in the videos now. I took a hammer and beat on that pretty good. They still rub, so it is what it is. I don't mind that much. I don't drive around at full lock all the time. She's a little beat up. My main issues with it, body-wise, are those plastics there in front of both back tires. And then sometimes I get a front fender, the flare. The flares are cheap. You can buy them off eBay. They're not bad to change. They're not expensive to ship. Those pieces there, they don't have a lot of them out there. They cost about 80 bucks a pop from Kawasaki, or even any other place. Like you're out 80 bucks. So I'm gonna figure out some kind of protection for it. I built my own sliders, 1/4 inch angle. They're great. I love them. I bolted them to the frame, countersunk it, bolted them in the existing bolt holes that hold this piece of plastic in, and then I drilled the bottom through skid plate and all, and bolted the skid plate through my sliders. So it's a stout setup. I haven't really had any issues. I beat these sliders to pieces, and I haven't had any issues with it. They actually help stiffen up this back section of the frame a lot. I bent this up on my old mule. Anywhere that there's a bolt, skid plate, or slider, I've drilled it out and put M5 rib nuts in it. Those self-tappers, once or twice, you take them in and out, they're done. They strip the hole out and then it's over. So all of them I've got in there, I've drilled out and put M5 bolts and rib nuts in. Rear end, bone stock. I have no drivetrain issues with this machine. The belt's getting a little grumpy. Obviously, I've got 31s, and the way I ride it, the belt takes a beating. It squeaks when I take off in high, but it got bad. It got to a point and just hasn't gotten any worse, so I'm not worried about it. I'm fine with it. Axles, I run factory axles. They've never given me an issue. I've never had one fail. I have had the boots get poked, and if you poke a hole in a boot and you're riding and stuff like I do, it's done. You might catch it the minute it happens, and it still gets dirt in it. Like, that boot's done for. CV's done for. So run it till it starts clicking, get a new one. This side, same deal. This back plastic just takes a beating on this thing. If it wasn't for this door, where I have to get in here and check my oil and stuff, I'd already have something built that comes up here Probably bolts into this piece of frame right here, you know, cut out for the handle, whatever. But this stupid door for the checking oil and the air filter, it just makes it a pain. I don't want something that I've got to take on and off to do that. I'm gonna have to build something around that. So that's my next, you know, thing, because I'm gonna have $200 in plastics on the thing, and then what am I gonna do? Break them all again. So that's my next thing. The only drivetrain mod I've done on this thing is the front differential. I've got the Torque Masters locker for a 2015 through 2020 model. So I took the front differential out of my 2019, bolted it into this 2024. It bolts into the same holes. And then I've got early model axles. They bolt into the, you know, spindle's fine. Everything's the same up there. And so I've got a front locker in a 2024. No durability issues. You know, there's smaller diffs, smaller axles. I've never broken one. Never had an issue. And I beat on this thing pretty good. So no complaints there. The only other real mod I'm going to do to it for now, because it's under warranty, I bought a set of clutch weights, factory clutch weights. I'm going to drill them out a little bit, lighten them up, and see if that makes a difference. And, you know, just how it pulls, if it gives it any more wheel speed, you know, hill climbing ability, what have you. And I'll report back. I mean, it'll be a video on it. I'll do a little comparison video, because it would be nice if this thing would did a little more wheel speed. It gets, I want to say about 20 max, you know, mile per hour wheel speed. I honestly think it's more like 16, but you know, the old mules, they would spin the tires at 11 mile an hour climbing hills or in mud holes and stuff. You cannot clean a tire doing that. You know, the tires would gum up, you're stuck. This thing will do 16, it's noticeably better. It's still not good enough. You need about, for around here, you need about 30 mile an hour wheel speed to climb hills and do stuff like that. You know, I'm following razors and stuff like that around, or leading them, and it's just, I'm underpowered to begin with. I'm overweight to begin with, so I got to get some more wheel speed out of it. But that's the plan. I'll update that as it goes along. Other than that, I mean, it's got a 4-inch cage chop, the aluminum roof that I just cut a sheet of aluminum, bent it to fit, left it a little oversized, and I've just kind of let the trees beat it into shape. And well, they're beating it into shape. It's getting pretty bad. I'm saying I'm gonna have to take a hammer to it and straighten it out a little bit. Yeah, my cage, like I said, the cage chop welds are terrible, but I mean, look at the roll cage. This roll cage is, I mean, it's thin. This thing, if I honestly, I think if you rolled a Kawasaki Mule on any legitimate like wreck, that cage would fold up like origami. Like I would not expect it to protect you on any sort of extreme riding. It's not going to. But I don't do a lot of hill climbing, stuff like that. If I do wreck this thing, it would be more of a flop, you know, just being on an off-camber spot, and I'd just end up flopping it on its side. So the cage doesn't really concern me yet. If I start getting the wheel speed up, if I start getting a little more power out of it, then the roll cage will be the next thing to get fixed. But for now, 31s, Hesters, offset A-arm, locker, skid plate. I don't think, I mean, you get 30s, let me rephrase, you can get 30s, just, you know, big a tire as you can stuff in it. And those mods I have, I don't think there's a better trail riding setup to have. You know, it's light, I don't have anything more in it than what I need. It's perfect, I love it. So, it's quiet, you know, I can throw me and the wife, kids in the back. We can all talk while we're going down the road in it. It's sweet, I love this machine. That is a factory Kawasaki flip-up windshield. I don't know, somewhere in here, I just cut 4 inches out of it, welded it back together. And then I cut 4 inches off the top or bottom of the poly. So it fits with a 4-inch cage chop. But that's it. Hope you like it, because I sure do. Thanks for watching.